Good morning, my name is Rafael Cegarra. Good morning, my name is Rafael Cegarra. Smart banking technologies are affecting the way we live our everyday lives, and young adults are experiencing more than other demographics. To what extent has the integration of smart banking technologies affected the consumption habits of young adults in the United States? Now, the solution to this research question that through research is innovative smart banking technologies deeply affect young adults' consumption habits by leading them to invest more in the nation's stock market, and also by the effects of new effective selling techniques from retailing brands. The smart banking industry is a rapidly growing market as more users are coming into it every day through the diffusion of smart devices. It is allowing for banking to be at our fingertips 24/7. This is a standard set in the last decades, which will never go away. Young adults are now realizing that they need a standard of service in which the transaction has to be as quickly as possible, and they don't want to wait days for it to be made and go to the bank. So this is completely changing the world of the economics. Robinhood, for example, is a pioneer in the brokerage area, which by having online banking at the tip of our fingers in our phone, it is also including trading in the nation's stock market. This is a platform that was funded April 18th, 2013, and since then it has grown exponentially. Here we can see how just in the last 3 years, Robinhood's valuation has gone from $1.3 billion to a whopping $11.7 billion. Now, this growth in the valuation is made from more users coming into the application and experiencing their services. Here we can also see that Robinhood has experienced 5.8 million more retail accounts than E-Trade in this year's June. Now, E-Trade is a 40-year-old broking firm. And so this shows how new, innovative, smart banking technologies is appealing to an audience, especially an audience of young adults, as it also shows that 80% of them are millennium users and not older generations. Now, apart from these applications, such as Robinhood, which is an actual bank and also a trading firm, we can also see the impact of smart banking in places where you wouldn't expect them to be, such as social media and other internet sites, such as Instagram, Facebook, and Amazon. Now, these are all platforms in which have benefited from the widespread of technology in terms of social and users. As Stimuli One presents, Carolyn Gorski, the head of Internet of Things at Digital Catapult, in the article, What is the Internet of Things by Matt Burgess, he explains, it gives the opportunity for devices to communicate not only within close silos, but across different networking types, and creates a much more connected world. This is exactly what these platforms are doing. They're creating a more connected world through the Internet of Things, and they are benefiting also in terms of monetary assets. As for example, Facebook saw a revenue in 2017 of $7.87 billion to a change of a revenue just 1 year later to $70.7 billion. That's a profit that's made through ads and also from selling. The currency is also an aspect of changing innovations in the banking aspect. As we can see now, we have cryptocurrencies coming in every day, such as the most known ones, Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are growing. For example, Bitcoin this week just reached the highest it's been since it started. And this shows how people are more inclined to participate and trade in those currencies, especially young adults, as other generations have been a little susceptible to that innovation. The current pandemic we're going through is emphasizing and amplifying the effects that we're already seeing from the social and technology aspect. We all know that companies such as Zoom and Microsoft Teams have benefited, and of course, its users have grown exponentially just because of the pandemic. But not only that, here is a graph by McKinsey and Company, a managing consulting institution founded in 1926 by a University of Chicago professor, which shows the expected growth in purchases online through the COVID-19 pandemic. And we can see how almost if all aspects of mentioned in this graph, they all grow after the COVID-19 pandemic. And this is an online purchase. So people are even becoming more friendly to online retailing, which is something that was already growing before the pandemic, but it is now amplified. Here's the works cited. And thank you. Is there any questions?
Yeah, I do have two questions for you. First up, how valid and reliable were the sources that you used, and then how do you know that they were?
The sources were thoroughly valid, and I know they're valid because I used sources that were recent. For example, the articles I used for Robinhood were from less than 4 months ago, actually released in October. And also the other ones were from institutions that have been in place from years and are regarded as worthy in the markets of economics.
Okay, and then if you had more time, what additional research would you do?
I would have done additional research on how exactly the social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram are growing as a result of selling online rather than the social media aspect, as they have monetized their systems in order to cash in more money.